I want to talk about setting the wrong goal and my experiences with that. I have a big one in my history. So like 2 years ago now, I went over to see Kill Your Inner Loser before he'd even set up his forums, like back when he was still just like a guy on GLL, but he just set up his own website. He was offering coaching. He was getting like started in that kind of scene. And I decided to be an early adopter, I guess, and go over and check out his coaching and by flying to his city and like meeting him in person. And from there, it was like, I went there knowing that I wanted to fix dating. That was the main thing. Like I wanted to learn how to approach and I wanted to fix my Tinder. Those were the two main things. And this was like 2 years ago. And when I spoke to him about it, he was like, well, you need a concrete goal. So like, what do you want your goal to be? If we were going to write down what your concrete goal for the next like 2 to 3 years is, what is it? And he was like, do you want to get 100 lays because you can? And like, I almost wanted to impress him, I guess, or wanted something that was like, it's good to set like a goal that's stupidly high, you know what I mean? And sometimes stupidly high but achievable, theoretically. And with the 100 lays, I was like, right, it'll impress him if I say this. It'll show him that I'm serious. So I told him, yeah, let's put 100 lays down. That would be a good one. And when I went to see him, I had like only slept with like, I think 7 girls at that point. So that was quite a big like, that would be quite a big paradigm shift, you know what I mean? For someone to go from like, you know, I've slept with around like 7 to then be like, I'm trying to just try and sleep with 100 women and date like obviously several times that. So like, yeah, it was an interesting goal to put down and look at, because when you put your goals down like that and it's like quite a big one, and then when you're like looking at it later on, you're like, ah, yeah, that is fairly daunting. So then I started getting into the swing of things, you know, like with this goal that I wasn't like, my full heart wasn't behind it. Like I wasn't 100% committed to it, but it was a good crystallization of like the level of success I was aiming for. So I did kind of tie my mask to those colors. So then I had the crazy 2 weeks where I had like inside my first 7 approaches, I slept with 2 girls, and Andy fixed my Tinder, which I put on the channel as well. You can go and see what my Tinder profile kind of looks like at the moment. And that got me stupid amounts of success that I'd never seen before. I didn't think was possible with online dating. So from there, I started like actually getting success and like racking up some decent like amounts of dates and experience. And about like 8 months ago or something, Andy and I just had a conversation where it was like, look, I don't think this was the goal I really wanted. Like how now that I've actually tasted success and now that I've actually I've lived the lifestyle of someone who is working towards that goal, I was like, I don't really want to chase lay count or numbers like this. It's very like, it's very reductive or whatever. Like it brings the process down to like stats and numbers. And I'd recommend people go and listen to the podcast Andy did recently with a guy called Senor Peppers, where Senor Peppers talks about like, it's not about like, people see it as like leads and like following up on leads and crunching numbers and building your lay count and stuff like that, when really dating's about like empathizing and like building bonds and connections with people. And then obviously from there you have sex. It's also about having fun. Like that's exactly what I want out of dating. Like what I want out of dating is to have fun. I don't want to be counting notches, which is one of the most like, I think it's kind of pathetic if I'm being brutally honest. I know a lot of you guys out there rank everything by lay count, everything by numbers. And like, I wasn't easy with it at the first point. I just said it to impress a guy. And then like, since then it's just been like, I don't value looking back, like counting the numbers. I value like the good times. I value like the girls that I really connected with and I really liked. The girls that I would happily go and see again now if COVID wasn't shutting down travel restrictions. So I became more honest about what I actually wanted out of this process. And in doing so, I realized that I had set a wrong goal. I think it's really important with goal setting that you are true to yourself about what it is that you actually want. But I do give you a bit of leeway, like with me, of actually discovering what that is. And what I will tell you is don't be too against changing a goal if you're absolutely sure you made a mistake in setting it. That is perfectly fine. There's nothing saying that you have to, you're not Moses writing the commandments into stone, you know? You don't have to keep your goals set the way they are. You can shift them. If you've been through that journey of improvement and discovery and you've realized that you made a mistake, okay, you set the wrong goal and you wanted to pivot to something that would give you more fun, more like, you know, more reward. That's the best way of looking at it I can give you. Yeah. Realize if you fucked up. You can admit a mistake. All right, guys. Peace out till next time.